It's an understatement to say that COVID has affected us all in some way or another. Every single one of us has had our life altered because of the outbreak of COVID-19. You ever think back to your life in 2019? It seems like a whole different life at this point. Now, everyone has a story, a different perspective on what we're all going through. And to be honest, no two experiences, they're not exactly the same. It's hard to step into each other's shoes at this point. And the effects of COVID on the community are seen on a daily basis in some of our local businesses. Take a flower shop in Eagle, for example. The pulse of the community there has changed in recent weeks.
Hope Blooms, this is Chadwick. How can I help you?
When the phone rings in the flower shop,
Did we get any tulips?
it usually means one thing.
We have pink.
A life event has happened in the community.
We're in the business of emotions. We sell emotions. We help people express emotions, not flowers. That's what we do. And so, yeah, we do get the stories, good and bad. We get them all.
Since the beginning of the pandemic in early 2020, this shop, Hope Blooms in Eagle, has seen a surge in people wanting to send flowers for one reason or another.
People can't get out as much still, and they can't see each other, and they want to, say I love you. It's a good way to do it is with flowers.
In recent weeks, though, shop owner Dorothy Miller says the calls into the store are missing the usual balance of happy and sad events.
The other day, I think from 7 in the morning till about 1 in the afternoon, every single call was a funeral. And every single walk-in was a funeral.
Handling flower arrangements for funerals is not new to this team, but Miller says the recent COVID trend has changed the volume and types of calls they're getting. More and more, the team listens to tragic stories about COVID deaths.
The last 2 weeks, I had 2 sisters come in, and they both lost their husbands within a week. And that was tough because one sister's now trying to support the other sister.
The emotions the team here sees from customers grieving a death is also changing.
Usually people will come in and they're sad and they're upset, but the last couple weeks, Joe, that people have come in and they're mad. They're just mad at the whole process and the whole thing that's going on, and they just are having a hard time wrapping their heads around, my husband was coughing 3 days ago and now he's gone.
Miller says that for whatever reason, the emotions of it all hits people while they're in the shop.
So a lot of times they come in here and they just cry. We just let them sit and cry as long as they need to. And, we're definitely not grief counselors, but we listen, so it's tough.
You're very welcome. Have a good rest of your day.
And it's tough in a way that's different than it was pre-COVID.
Usually we're able to really compartmentalize, here's a happy birthday call, a happy anniversary call, and then a funeral walks in. Normally we're able to kind of put that, into its little place and deal with each one individually.
But the stories and emotions add up through a day or a week. The staff here really learns about the lives of those lost and the impact that loss has on family and friends.
We get sad later. We have to get sad later, but it affects each and every person here every time they take a phone call. It's tough.
Another really serious note from the Hope Blooms team. They tell us that they've noticed just through their work an uptick in suicides in the community. And this remains a very challenging time for many in our community. And it's important to note and reflect that fact. If you or someone you know needs help or just someone to talk to, there are great resources available right now in our community. One resource, you can call or text the Idaho Suicide Prevention Hotline at 208-398-4357. The hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's not only a person in crisis who can call the line. A friend or a loved one of a person in crisis can also reach out too. There's also great access to mental health resources around the Treasure Valley, and we actually have an aggregate of all of that on our website at ktvb.com. You can look for the Hello Idaho page there.